Awesome. So today for SaaS Dads, I've got Kartik. Now, give me a moment with the surname here, mate. Kartik Aya Losa Majula. Aya Losa Majula?
Almost,
Almost? Or Majula?
almost. No, Jula was right.
Jula?
You dropped one of the letters there, but that's cool. It's Ayala Soma Jula.
Aya Losa Mayajula. Sorry, Aya
Yeah,
Losa Mayajula. Thank you, mate.
that's
I'm
it.
sorry. I knew that I
That's
knew
okay. That's
you would
okay.
get
I've
there.
heard them all, as I said. I've heard them all, so it's all good.
We'll run with K for Kartik, mate. Kartik. But mate,
Kartik's good.
welcome aboard, mate. Thanks for coming into SaaS Dads. So we're going to talk about today. So with SaaS Dads, we're talking about people's journey through building their SaaS. Most of the people I've spoken to so far have pretty much gone through the journey of the young kids and building their SaaS. And we've talked to that, and they're, I would say, maybe out the other side, for want of a better word. I mean, maybe out the other side, but maybe bigger companies, bigger problems. But today, this is a really cool chat. So we're going to talk about your journey, and you're still in it. So with Acquire One, you started your SaaS journey about 12 months ago-ish, roughly.
Yeah, just over 12 months. Yeah, it's been about 14 months now. Yeah.
Yeah, so 12, 14 months. And, oh, what's going on? Sorry, my screen's just disappearing on me there. So, all right, sorry, mate. So, yeah, 12, 14 months ago. And the reason I wanted to have this chat today is that you really just dived into it. Now, a lot of people, they start their SaaS journey and will kind of dabble on the side a little bit, to try and sort of build up a little bit of revenue, maybe get a few clients on board before they'll actually dive in. But you really dove headfirst into this, that 12, 14 months ago. And you have a young family as well. So you've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. So that's a big leap of faith to just go from, and you were in a in the consulting space in government. And, I can only imagine, those are pretty good roles to be in, probably
Yep.
fairly reasonably enumerated as well.
Yes. Yes,
So
very
you're
much so. Yes.
going to give all that up to dive into the SaaS space. So what was that like, that thought process? And then managing that with family and kids, it's like it's a real leap of faith to a degree. Like, how did you kind of make that step?
Yeah. Thanks, Gary. Firstly, great to be here. Appreciate the opportunity. Um, you're absolutely right. I think it was definitely a difficult decision, not an easy one for sure. I did sort of still initially when we were setting this up, still was sort of doing it on the side. Of course, we didn't sort of go, I guess, fully all in, but we did very much once it was at a state where I needed to go all hands on deck with it. Then it was, yeah, we sort of jumped in. I jumped into it pretty much straight away. Look, I still question it, whether it's the right decision or not, 14 months on, whether we've made the right call. But look, I think a lot of these things come down to a couple of factors. Number one is um, your family or your partner and their support and your extended family support and them sort of coming along for the journey. I always say it's not just one person's decision. Like this is definitely something that, is a family decision. So, we decided to have a crack at it. We thought, if we're going to do something like this, now's the time that we can. Um, and in fairness, my partner was still off work. Was we had back-to-back pregnancies. As I said, we were two young children, 18 months apart. So we had back-to-back pregnancies. So she wasn't working either. It's really just pretty much single income. So it was in hindsight, not the smartest decision,
How does she take that?
financially.
You say, love, I'm just
Um,
thinking about giving up my consulting gig where,
yeah,
I'm making a nice income here, and I'm going to go into this where I've just started and I'm making a few $100s a month or whatever it was.
correct. Correct. Yeah. I
Take
mean,
that well?
when you play it back like that, I can see how ridiculous it sounds. It didn't sound like that at the time, but look, she was she could sort of sense that I was just like the passion or there was it just wasn't there anymore with the consulting space. And I mean, you obviously come from a corporate background as well. It does get quite mundane, and at that particular time, the consulting world was sort of starting to take a bit of a dive. And so it was a bit of a struggle. So we just thought that, okay, well, I myself thought that, look, I need to do something different. I need to do something that's more engaging. And yeah, look, I stumbled across this world, this online on Instagram, and um, you know had a coach or someone who was running a training program introduced me to the world of HighLevel, and then, well, yeah, the rest is history after that. So definitely a family decision, but I think also um, there was just something inside of me that I felt was missing, and I thought I had to take a bit of a punt.
Yeah, and you mentioned to before about being in that corporate world, death by meetings, sitting around the boardroom table, everybody's got a voice. Nobody can make a decision about the decision, so you have another meeting to make a decision about the decision that wasn't made at
Yeah,
that meeting for the decision. It's like soul destroying. Like I've been there in those boardrooms
yeah.
and sitting around, and it's just like, can we, for the love of God, can we get something done?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like that in the private sector, and then I've sort of come out of doing some work in the federal government space, and it's like a whole new level, right? So what without sort of going into the details, and I'm sure many people know this, is what takes probably a week or two in the private sector, ends up being a couple, or 1 or 2 months in Fed
Mm.
Gov to make that same sort of decision, right? So, yeah, look, that's just the nature of it, and yeah, I think the biggest thing was it was just becoming very mundane and routine, and which is fine. I mean, I've always traditionally been okay with that. I've always seen work as a vehicle to sort of, you know, get well remunerated and then basically enjoy life with family and friends. And that's always been my driver. So even as early as 18 months ago, if you had said to me, or if you'd asked me if I would ever run a business, I would have laughed and said, well, what are you talking about? Right? That's not me. It's not how I'm wired. I'm just sort of very, relaxed and kind of happy to do the routine thing and, take home the cash and live happily ever after. But um, yeah, I mean, I guess we're always looking for that nirvana, I suppose. And I think what comes of it is the flexibility, and I think that's the biggest thing. And I think that's probably what we're going to sort of talk to throughout this chat is just being able to have the ability to work the hours that I would like to and manage my day and around the family and the kids. And I think that's probably been the biggest driver for all of this. And it'll allow my partner to go back to work and sort of pursue her career now as well. And I can sort of be around doing the kids' routine and all that sort of stuff. So I think, yeah, there are definitely pros and cons with it, no doubt. But this is that decision that you have to make, I suppose, as a dad.
Yeah, I think it's Mark Cuban's little phrase, isn't it? He says it's great being working for yourself. You get to pick any 60 hours a week that you want to work.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly right. It's that's it. I think people sort of misunderstand or kind of are a bit misguided by this perceived freedom that you get, and it is partially correct. I mean, you don't have to log in at 8:30, 9 o'clock, or whatever it is. You can log in at 10. I mean, we do 10 to 6 here at Acquire One. That's the hours that we're sort of operating. Um, so it allows me to sort of finish off the morning routine with the kids, daycare drop-offs and all that sort of stuff. And 10 to 6 we're on, and then the evening routine when they're back home, the chaos begins again. So having the ability to do that at this age when they're not at school yet, but that'll no doubt affect our routine again when they
Yeah.
do get to that age. But yeah, just being able to have the ability to do that. And the other thing I think was also there was just a lot of travel for my work previously as well. Being in Fed Gov space, a lot of trips to Canberra, sometimes monthly, fortnightly, and more recently weekly as well. So that was a big sort of a big factor for us to sort of make this decision to move out of that space. So
Mm.
yeah, it was challenging, but hopefully we're well past it now.
Because I say all that and I say it in part in jest, part not, because there's definitely hours that you got to put in to start any business, and it's part of what we want to talk about on these as well. With like dads and building their companies while running the family, and having that flexibility is amazing. But you still, you can find yourself pulled into work or emails and stuff like that. So how do you balance? Are you very good with that 10 to 6? It's like I'm in then and I'm off then because you're doing the morning routine with the kids, and then the kids are off. Like, how do you balance your day between work and the family?
Yeah, I'm terrible at it. 10 to 6 is aspirational. It ends up being, well, the 10 is, I would like it to be earlier, but that just ends up very much being 10 by the time we get them out the door. The 6 o'clock though is absolutely not a hard stop at 6. Like it ends up sort of going into 6:15, 6:30, sometimes even 7 if there's stuff going on, and then um, yeah, really sort of just try to stop at that point, but then pick it up again after they've gone to bed. So it ends up being a 9, 10 o'clock restart, and
Mm.
so however long it needs to. So yeah, so it's absolutely not a hard stop at 6 for me yet. My partner would love for it to be a hard stop at 6, possibly earlier, but sometimes it's not the case. So I do struggle with that. And then obviously, like anybody, has the challenges of being the phones, emails, and everything on your phone, and so it's hard to sort of not get distracted with that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, this is all these things. I'm sure everybody else has the same sort of challenges, and it's not just unique to me.
No, I think everybody has those challenges, and then like we talked about this briefly before we jumped on here. Like I have similar things, in as that like I sort of work 2 shifts in a day. As in I do sort of 9 till 2:30, pick my son up, spend 5 hours with him, and then I'll come back and I'll work again in the evening. That could be 8 till whenever, sometimes.
Yeah,
But also like the flexibility of that, I think is amazing, right? There's times when I kind of like, ugh, I don't really want to do this tonight, and the reality is I could not do it. I could just leave it till the next day. But if you want to drive things forward and you want to get it going, you kind of need to push things along a little bit. And there's
yeah,
always a goal in sight with that as well. And I think we're actually very early. You and I are actually in very much the same stage of business. Actually, we're roughly 14, 15 months old, give or take, which is
yeah.
funny actually because I would have met you uh, actually when you would have just been starting at the
Just started. Yeah, literally just started. Yeah.
yeah, at the
Um,
Australian the Australian
Agency Ignite.
Eggshell
Yeah,
agency event, and you
yeah.
actually won a sorry, yeah, you won
I
an
did.
account with us there. You actually won the lucky
Yes.
draw thing, whatever it was. So that's funny. I never knew that you'd started back then. Actually, I was kind of putting that together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That
it's
I was like literally 3 weeks in at that event. Like it was all very fresh. Yeah. So it was
yeah,
but yeah. I mean, I that event really just solidified my decision, and I even, if I can mention, I think I mentioned their names and the other recently as well. Ryan, Emily from Growthable, and yeah, and obviously yourself and Alok, four people really had a big impact on me to say just to justify my decision to make this call and jump into this world. So yeah, I mean, obviously forever. So one fifth person should mention him, Stephen Tan as well.
uh,
So I mentioned Stephen as well. So yeah, 5 people definitely um, have helped me in some capacity throughout the journey, but just really just justified my decision to go down this path.
and obviously you said before you made this decision with your wife, like it was a family decision to go ahead and do this, right? Do the rest of your family and people really understand what you do? Like you work in this sort of CRM, AI space, like running your
Absolutely
own
not.
business. It's like,
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, it was funny actually. What my when I told my dad that I'd finished, a previous contracting gig in Canberra, whilst sort of going all in with the business, the first thing he said was, "Okay, awesome. Now you can find a job in Sydney." And I was like, no, that's I've got a job already. That's not what I do. So yeah, I mean, coming from an Indian sort of background and family, and traditionally, it's all when we grow up, it has always been about, okay, get your education, go to uni, get a job, you know. buy a house, family, get married, and there's very much a routine, sort of structured approach, formal structure.
Yeah.
And so, in fact, my brother is also in business, and he was sort of the first. He runs his own business in a separate sort of space. So he was the first one really to kind of break the mold, I suppose. Um, but my parents always thought that I would be the stereotypical one, I guess, because growing up, I probably was more stereotypical than my brother was. And so for them to see me going down this path in this world is still is a bit of a cultural shock, and I don't think they really truly understand what I still do or what we do. Um, even my in-laws as well, same sort of thing. They're very sort of both come from a very traditional background. So yeah, it's always funny when I talk to them, and they always said that, oh, you seem a lot more busier now. Like, well, what are you actually doing? And I'm like, yeah, oh, I'm running a business. It's because they think of, okay, well, you're not working, like you're unemployed, I guess. So it's that was always a funny conversation. They don't truly understand what we do, but I mean it's much better now. Now they get it and they realize that, okay, this is actually a real thing, and it's not just a gimmick that someone's seen online or whatever. It's not like some sort of side hustle. But yeah, the early days, it was funny. It never detracted me at all. But it was just funny to kind of go through those conversations. Yeah, I guess my partner much more aligned with me, and so we obviously from this generation, she got it pretty quickly. She could see the value in
Yeah.
it, and she's a qualified chartered accountant, so she's sort of does the numbers for us, the unofficial CFO of the business. So we're very much in good check there. But yeah, it's the early days of family was still not sure what we actually. I think partially they still don't really understand. They're probably just being nice to me and saying, "Oh yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds great. Good on you. Keep going." So yeah, this is all just the cultural differences, I suppose, from growing up here.
Yeah, but I know you've made some pretty good strides. I mean, 14 months in, and then you mentioned a while ago, I forget you put this in one of the groups because like you're a big part of the communities that we're all part of as well, which is one of the things that I think is great about High Level is that people will help each other at the end of the day. It's like, hey,
Absolutely.
can we help you? You got a question about this? And people are not really rivals. Like they might be doing similar things, but
No,
everybody's got their own little spin on it. So that's one of the absolutely best things I think about High Level is that people will help you. And you put something up in one of the groups a while ago that you'd had a holiday for a week, and while you were away, your team had put six clients on while you were away for a week and told you shouldn't come back.
exactly. Yes,
That's pretty
they
good.
still don't. They still don't let me live it down. Actually, I've been back for 3 weeks and we haven't got a new client, so they're eagerly waiting for me to go back on holidays,
Right.
so
Time for
we
another
could.
holiday.
Well, yeah, which I don't mind. I'm happy with that. It means we can take some time off again. I'm sure the family would love that. Yeah, look, I agree with you with the community side of things. I mean that's probably by far the biggest um, uh, inspiration for me to keep going with this. I mean, you're absolutely right. In theory, we are all competitors, realistically, right? Like we're all doing similar sort of things and we're all targeting similar sort of people for clients and whatnot. So you just don't feel like that at all. Like I think every single person that I've met, and I'm sure you're the same, Gary, in this community is exactly that. Like they're very much willing to help. We all do similar things. Well, some people do exactly the same thing, but still willing to collaborate, still willing to share ideas, insights, experiences, and I'm look, I still am. I believe much further behind than most people, but certainly what I have learnt and continue to learn from people is the art of giving back. And I think that's so powerful in this community. It really is, kind of like a family. You know what I mean? Like even family at times don't give back this much, and it's very very transactional, depending on which side of the family you're talking to. So yeah, that to me is by far the one of the main reasons why I'm sort of continuing to pursue this. And I don't think, touch wood, I've met anyone till date. Obviously, I haven't met that many people, but I haven't met anyone till date that's not in that sort of giving mindset and is transactional. I haven't met anyone yet. Hopefully, I don't in the high level community, and even like people that work at high level, like the founders. I mean, wow. I mean, you were at the first SaaSpreneur event recently in Sydney, right? Like, so humble. Like three
Yeah.
guys that basically have, a world at their feet. They can pretty much take this anywhere. They would have. They're probably they're sitting on a gold mine, or they've created one actually. But you just would not even think that these three guys built this product and this now community, and
Mm.
everybody that you talk to. I've had a couple of calls with some of the high level team, the product team. We're just sort of sharing some thoughts in terms of what we could look for. They were actually coming to us, say, "Hey, can we have a chat with you? We'd love to find out more about how you guys are using it. Where can we help? What can we do? What other things can we add? What capability can we add?" I'm just like, which product company comes to you and says, "We want to have a call with you. We want to jump on the call and get feedback from you. How's it working?" Like, I've never seen that anywhere before. It's usually, we're scrambling, trying to fill out a feedback form, and that gets lost in, it gets lost in the mail, and you might get a response back like 3 months later saying, "Oh, thanks for your feedback, and we'll look into it," or the usual generic responses, right? These guys for actually getting on a call and having a chat and asking us, "How are you using this? What would you like to see?" All those sort of things is amazing, right? I mean, and you guys are saying at my CRM Sim, right? I mean, it's the office hours, the support, your tech team. We've had some challenges in the past, and they've been great. So yeah, I think it's just a truly the true sense of the word, a community vibe, and then that's I think is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, well, honestly, I've really tried to model a lot of the stuff that we do off of like Sean and the guys there,
Yeah,
Robin and Varun as well. But Sean is very much the person at the front, I would say anyway, that people see. And you just see how he cares and interacts in the community, the updates that he puts out, trying to keep everyone aware of what's going on. Like we've really just tried to emulate that in a way, and just go, geez, like look what they're doing. Like that's a good way to be. Um,
yeah,
and you talk about those guys being hands on. Like I remember in London at the SaaSpreneur event there, so we had a stand over there. And at the end of the day, I remember seeing Sean running back and forth, dismantling the stand and bringing bits across. He's just like
wow,
taking that and like taking stuff apart and running back and forth with bags and everything, just helping the whole team out. Like they're just really hands-on
yeah.
community leaders, like that whole team. Like it's amazing. It's amazing to see. So very, very
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. And that's, I mean, that's just so inspiring, right?
Yeah.
And I think people feed off that. I don't think, I don't know if Sean and Lauren and uh,
Robin.
his name, Robin, forget, I don't think they realize that. I'm sure they do to a certain degree, but I don't think they realize how much those little things, those little acts actually impact how people run their business. I mean, you just said that you model your business and the way you guys operate based off how they do it. And I
Mm.
think that is more powerful than the actual product of the solution itself. Like that'll obviously tech and that'll help businesses, and it's a great business model for anybody who wants to start their own agency. But it's the behaviors I think is what stands out from those that are doing this to make some cash versus those that actually want to build something powerful and build a movement in a community.
Yeah.
And
Help
so
help people as well.
and help people. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so that's yeah, it's amazing to see.
So talking about you mentioned earlier it wasn't really your aspiration to build a business, going back, but here you are. And now
Yeah.
with young kids, right? And anyone who's got young kids or had young kids like knows the challenges of having kids as well, right? Do you think like what you've learned from being a dad, and you're still very much in it with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old? Do you think that's helped you with building a business with patience and stuff? I know you're a pretty laid back, chill guy anyway. Um, how is being a dad? Have you learned stuff from that to influence your approach to business and stuff as well?
Yeah, I absolutely have. I think the biggest thing that only really dawned on me maybe I would say 3, 4 months ago. So, or 3 months ago, yeah, it was I was in the car with my partner driving, and yeah, we were just I just kind of then struck me, and I realized that yes, we are building a business here. Yes, we may have initially started this to have um, additional source of income or a main source of income, and then freedom and all that sort of stuff. But what we've actually doing now is we've built a team as well, and we're now the reason for people's livelihoods. Like we're giving them. I don't mean to sound that in an arrogant way, but
Mm.
we're actually building something here that people enjoy coming to work. People enjoy working collaboratively. And we've never met any of these people physically because they're all overseas, right? But we've sort of built this, I guess, connection with all these people, and we're not just giving them a salary. We're actually it's their livelihood that we have now also developed. Yeah, I guess subconsciously doing this, right? And that has this that I think is quite powerful and is inspiring for me. And that sort of is what keeps me going. I guess every day I sort of enjoy turning up. And I think how that relates back to the kids is, it's this. I'm much older than I think. Well, actually, yeah, I think I'm much older than most of the team that we have. In fact, I think much older than all the team. So I don't think I'm that and old enough to say I'm like a fatherly figure to them because that would be really weird. But um, just the traits that I guess I've learned from being a dad and then being able to put that into practice. My mindset is the biggest thing. We're now saying, okay, people are not just coming to work. We're not just paying them for their services and that's it. This is actually they want to turn up. Like they enjoy turning up. And even the hours that they're sort of logging in from is a much earlier than over here because Australia is so far ahead of the rest of the world time zone wise.
Mm.
But they don't complain at all. They actually enjoy doing it because of the sort of culture and the environment that we've built, I suppose. And I think that's having sort of tried to emulate a similar thing at home from what we have at home into work is quite amazing, and that's yeah, it's inspiring for me, and that's sort of main reason why we continue to keep going, and people sort of enjoy. Hopefully, I don't know if we run a NPS test, but hopefully they keep turning up and enjoy working with us. And yeah, I think that's something that I'm pretty proud of.
Yeah, nice. And your kids being as young as they are, I mean, obviously they can't be involved in the business in terms of doing anything constructive in there. But, do they understand what dad does? Do they come in and jump on a meeting? Do they talk to your team sometimes and just say hello? So they kind of have some kind of engagement and involvement? Because I do that with my son often. Like I was talking to our CTO yesterday and he came home from school. I was like, hey, mate, come here, just say hey to Chef Cat and have a. And it's like he's having a little chat to
Yeah.
him, and Chef Cat's going, "Oh, when are you coming over for a holiday?" And it's nice that people know that you're real humans. So
Yes.
I talk to his kids, and we'll just have a little chat, and just realize exactly what you've said there, that you are responsible for these other people's lives, and that they are humans, and they're not just other people to throw tasks at and get things done. We're trying to grow the business and get everything done, and that has to work for us all to succeed, and so that we can all pay the bills and go to the supermarket and buy some food and pay the rent or whatever it might be, and humanizing everything, and having our kids involved in that. So do you do that with your kids? Like, do they kind of understand what daddy does and talk to people, or
So
are
I
they
don't know
or are
if
they
they
just too
understand what I
young?
do. Yeah, I don't know if they understand what I do, but I don't intentionally get them involved. They make it a point to come in and open the door and run in and
Sure.
join the meetings as they would like. I think their routine is as soon as they come home from daycare, uh, my son, the first thing is bolts. Like I mean, young boys, as I'm sure your kids would have done when they were younger as well. They just like Usain Bolt style, just run, jumps out of the car, runs in. The first thing he does is not even knock, just opens the door, comes in, starts laughing. Right? Looks at me, starts
Yep.
laughing. And I want to call whether it's with a client or with internal or whatever it is. So I've got no choice. And, it is a good sort of, pick him up, put him on my lap and just say hello and stuff. So yeah, they just have their own mindset, and it does it. I think it is actually quite good because if especially if it's like a serious conversation, and then these guys come in and there's laughing and just break the tension a little bit, pick them up, show them on screen, and people say hello, and yeah, it is very much that sort of human touch,
Yeah,
and sort of makes people understand that we are still people, normal people at the end of the day, right? We're not sort of doing anything. We're doing something that's meaningful, but also, you know, we are just regular people as well. We don't need to be put on any pedestal or anything like that. So, everybody has their own lives and families and whatnot. And then you start to see, okay, well, then the conversation gets a bit more comfortable, and then people open up about, oh yeah, you know, their own kids and or family and all that sort of stuff. And so I think that's really important as well to have that sort of good culture because it's anywhere you go, you spend so much time with your people that you work with, right? They're almost like a second family of yours, and
mm,
sometimes probably you spend more time with your work colleagues than your actual family at times, right?
yeah,
So it's important to be able to get along and be able to kind of connect on more than just work. And I think that really helps with people, as I'm going back to my point earlier about turning up and actually wanting to and look forward to work the next day or every day, right? So, yeah, I mean, the kids, I'm sure they don't. I'm sure they'll probably picking up on things, and still very young age at this point, but they definitely love to make their contributions at times for sure.
yeah. It's that nice blend. Like, I mean, I like it. I mean, I talk about it sometimes. I mean, I work probably more hours than I should or could or whatever. But we've all got things that we want to do. But I wouldn't change it for the world. And having that
Yeah.
blend of like humanity that fits around my role, and having my son come in, and the fact that he came home from school. I was on a call. I go, mate, just give me 5, 10 minutes to finish this call, and then I'm coming out with you. We go out, we walk the dog, we throw the ball, we play, we do all the evening routine. Then he goes to bed. Then I'll come back. Then I'll finish my work and I'll do my emails and stuff like that. Which you know, for me, I think about it a lot and I go, well, it's not ideal. I don't want to come back to the computer in the evening. But what would I rather be doing? Would I rather be playing my son, or would I rather have that corporate job like you and I both had,
Yeah.
where it's completely soulless? You're probably walking around like used to walk around wearing clothes that I hated. Like I'm not a suit person at all. Like I never
Yeah,
wore a
I
suit.
can't
Like
picture you in a suit at all, Gary.
no, mate, that's
I don't know how you did
not.
it. Yeah.
Nah, just a shirt and slacks was, and maybe a tie every now and again. But
Yeah.
like wearing clothes that you don't like, sitting down and talking to people that you don't really like or get on with about things that you don't really care about that are not meaningful and going to take weeks to figure out. And if you could just get someone to say yes, you could get it done in by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I will take all the blended work and whatever it is, the hours and the things you just need to get done or whatever need to get done to remove all of that, and especially commute time as well. Like, I mean, my commute
Oh my God.
is
Yes. Yeah.
down the stairs. My office is downstairs in our house.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's it. Yeah, look, insane, right? We're just down the hallway and I'm at work, right? So it's good and bad because then it also means it's so close that you're like, oh, let me just jump in quickly, do this, send this email, or do that. So, it's both sides of the coin, I suppose. But yeah, certainly not having to, from I live in Sydney, so not having to drive like 3 hours up the highway to Canberra every week is definitely ideal. So it's good. Yeah, I agree with you there for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So, being in still in the early stages, what's the biggest challenges you've had while you've kind of been, beginning, still growing, and how did you get through those challenges as well?
Yeah, look, I think the biggest challenge for us has been trying to figure out what um, our offering is. We've sort of tried a few different things in terms of when I say offering, I mean like our strategy, our approach into how we attract customers and then bring them on. So we tried a few things and initially and yeah, it sort of worked somewhat, but it mostly didn't. But sort of took it as a learning, and I think you're always learning, you're always developing, you're always finding the next big thing because obviously technology is evolving and HighLevel's evolving, and so many different people with so many different ideas and whatnot, and different products and solutions, and obviously you guys as well are in that. So been watching closely with the iMessage and well, WhatsApp and iMessage and all that sort of stuff. So there's always evolving, right? So how do you stay ahead of the not only ahead of the curve, but how do you just stay a level, stay afloat, right?
Your
So
head above
that's
water.
yeah, exactly. Right. How do you stay head above water with all this stuff going on? Because it's so easy just to kind of get a bit overwhelmed with, oh my God, should I do this? Oh no, should I do that? And yeah, you sort of see all sorts of stuff pop up and whatnot. And I think it's becoming more and more as people are getting on board with high level. It's becoming more and more common, and so many more people are doing it and using it. Um, our challenge has been, or sorry, our approach has been to kind of, well, we've figured out that, let's just make it as simple as possible and, do something that we know we're really good at and we've got the right people, and let's sort of really do that well. So do one thing really well, or one or two things really well, and not try to do, you know, everything really poorly or like effectively. So it's a quality versus quantity approach, I guess, is what's working for us. I know we're just sticking with the done for you lead gen thing, and now what the voice AI solution. We the one thing that I still would like to do is really sort of go down the pure SaaS side, which we haven't really truly launched that yet. But yeah, we also recently launched into Dubai as well. So not just Australia now, we're sort of looking outside of Australia. And then there's in sort of conversations with potentially going into a third country as well. So yeah, that's sort of on the map, in the coming months. So yeah, we just kind of we're at a point now where we feel like we've figured out our strategy. This is how it's working for us. So let's continue with that and really do that well, and not sort of try to overcomplicate it too much. Because, with high level, there's so many things you can do, right?
Yeah.
Both natively, but also, you know, some stuff like what you guys do and have, plugins and integrations and whatnot. The options are endless, but it's about, okay, how far do you want to go with this, or do you want to just keep it simple and it's the KISS principle, right? Keep it simple and stupid, and just really run with that. So yeah, we decided to go down that path, at least initially anyway. Once we sort of get stable and get to a position where we're okay, sort of it's now becoming a regular solid list, a solid bunch of clients and continuous revenue and whatnot, and then start to get a bit more fancy if we like, and continue with that. But yeah, for now, in this initial pit phase where we're just trying to build some consistency, we're trying to make it as simple as we can. So that's been our approach, and we think it's working pretty well. So
Yeah, well, it seems to be going pretty well now, Matt. So congratulations on that. And what's been most surprising to you? Because like going from consultancy to then running your own business, it's a big step to take that anyway. And then you don't know what you don't know, right? So what's been the biggest surprises to you in growing your business in the high level ecosystem?
the amount of tax that we have to pay in Australia is bloody ridiculous. So
Isn't it just, mate?
it's yeah, oh my gosh. It's like I'm always forever. My accountant is always. It's just like the BAS statement has come through. It's like, wow, has it been a quarter already? Like I feel like it just happened. So time goes quickly. But look, jokes aside, I think you made what you just said just before is you don't know what you don't know, and I think that is the biggest challenge for me. I mean, I am not a tech tech nerd at all. Like I come from technology consulting, so I understand the concepts of technology, and I studied engineering and many years ago, and so I get tech, but I'm certainly not a developer or hands-on tech at all, right? So for me, it's more I've come from a project management background, so I'm about delivering, implementing, and well, get stuff done, work with the team, make sure the team's delivering, and do that.
Mm.
Um, Terrible salesperson, I think anyway. Evidently, whilst on holidays, the team closed so many deals.
Leave that to the team
So
by the sound of things,
that's
definitely.
yeah, exactly. So they still think that I'm pretty good. I'm like, nah, not absolutely not. I don't agree with it. But give me something once it's sold, and I'll get the team to deliver it. That's in my sweet spot. I'm much more comfortable in that space. So yeah, look, I think the biggest thing is you don't know what you don't know, and with so much knowledge and experience in the community as well, it's like you don't have to know everything, because I've always believed that I'm not the expert in everything. I never will be. I don't want to be, but I would much rather work with or bring together a team of experts and have an expert team deliver the work. That's always been my philosophy, and that's what's worked for me. And that's sort of how we run our business as well. Is that we have people that are really good at what they do, and that's what we sort of, it's about how we bring everyone together and collaborate together. I suppose that's really my job in the company, is to empower people to do what they do, and bring them together so that we're all, riding on the same, striving to the same goal on the same path. So yeah, that's been our approach to things, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a good approach. And are you managing all that well? Because you mentioned before that your approach was always like, hey, I'm going to have a good job, I'm going to take the salary, and then I'm going to have the weekend with the family and enjoy my time there, my holidays. It's not like that when you're running your own business. Even if you're off, I don't know about you, and this is what I want to find out, is that I find when I'm off, it doesn't matter. I can be watching a movie and I'm still thinking about things. I'm like, okay, we've got to do that. And
Absolutely.
then the next quarter, I want to do that. Oh, but this quarter, I want to get that done. Like, I don't have a very good off switch. And I think most people that are building
Yeah,
and growing something don't, because if you're building and growing something, hopefully you're interested in it. I know I'm interested in what I'm doing. I love it. I kind of think about it all the time. Like, okay, we can do this and I can see that. And then like every day it evolves and I think of a new idea, drives my team a bit crazy at times. But how do you manage that now? Going from, consultant person, I switch off at 5 o'clock, I take my paycheck and I go home for the weekend and then I'll log back in on Monday. How are you managing and coping with that, especially with the young family as well?
oh look, it's really really difficult. And my partner's pulls me up on this all the time. um it is really really challenging to be able to switch off, right? I mean, even after the kids have gone to bed, there'll be nights where I just make it a point that I'm not gonna do at work. I just need a break. I just need to switch off. But we'll be sitting, watching something on on the TV, and I'll still be kind of every now and then pulling the phone and just sort of, you know, seeing something or GPTing something, or
Yeah,
whatever it may be. What's sort of some sort of ideas and things. So you're never fully off, I suppose. And probably the only time that you're fully off is when you're sleeping, is when I'm sleeping, I guess. So yeah, it is really hard. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, yeah, I'm perfect at it. I know how to switch on and off. It's just not, that's just not me at all. But again, like, this is a complete transformation to who I was even as soon as 18 months ago. Like, I was exactly what you just described. Like, once I'm out of work, I'm done. And that's it for the day or for the weekend. And until Monday morning, we go again, right? But this is like a 20-hour sort of, not 20 hour, but 18-hour sort of, 18-hour job, I guess. But I do try to, at least on the weekends, just sort of have a few hours where it's just purely, with the family, with the kids, and we'll go out and we'll do stuff. Even if we're just at home, we just hang out and not think about work. So, but that's, yeah, not easy. It's definitely not easy. But I suppose this is things that, as a SaaSpreneur, we have to do, right? So
yeah, it's that build stage. You're
yeah,
still building your team, still building
correct,
processes, still filling in the gaps. You still don't know what you don't know. A year into any business is not very long. Like, I
correct.
don't know what the stats are, but most businesses fail under 2 years, right?
Yeah,
So a
yeah,
year in,
correct.
halfway through that phase, getting some runs on the board. You've got a team managing to bring clients on now without you, which is a huge step. Like a lot of people nowhere near any of that yet. So congrats to you on that. So I think you just got to figure that going through these steps are all the parts of building a business and building resilience and understanding the challenges and that tomorrow's another day as well. You know, it's like I say, for me, I still work more hours than I have to, but
Yep.
I just got so many things that I want to get done. And like, you know, if I could get it all done tomorrow, I would, but like, there's only so many hours in the day. And I'd rather be doing something that I feel is moving towards that goal than sitting and watching TV. Like, I mean, I don't watch TV in the evening. Like, that just doesn't happen for me because
Yeah.
my brain just tunes out. I'm just like, what am I watching this for? Like, this is terrible.
Yeah, and it's not that
But
inspiring. It's not that much on to watch. That's actually inspiring
no,
anyway. It's usually
no.
quite rubbish. So, it's yeah. Look, you're absolutely right. It is very much we're I think we're both sort of at similar stages in our businesses. So in this phase, is the time where we need to sort of, I guess, do all these things and continuously, think about a lot of this stuff. But I think the reason why we're doing this is so that there will hopefully get a point where we don't have to, and then we can sort of take that step back a bit, and the sort of the team and the business and things will sort of start to flow, and then it becomes we get a lot more time back, and then we really that's when the true sort of flexibility and freedom comes in. I think that's what ultimately we're trying to aspire to achieve, right? So yeah, hopefully we get there. Well, I'm sure we'll get there. It's just a matter of how well, how effectively we can get there, and then how efficient it is moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I have every confidence you will get there, mate. And anyone who's listening to this as well, because that's part of this series is just to kind of, I know that there's people going through this, dads and mums as well, with families and kids, and they're just like, wow, this isn't the, there was a big launch at the weekend. We won't name the names, but, there's a big launch at the weekend that just went on with an internet marketing guru, buy this book, it will solve all your problems and your dreams, and you'll become a millionaire next weekend. The reality is that it's not really like that. You've got to put in, and this is a business, and treat it seriously, treat it like a business, and you will get rewarded. You know, as you put in at the end of the day. If you treat it like a hobby, you will get paid like a hobby. You can have all the time off that you want and hang out and go to the park and do all the things that you want to do, but you'll get paid like a hobby, and maybe that's fine. Some people want to do that, and they just want to relax and make a little bit of income or whatever. But if you treat your SaaS business seriously, you can make an incredible, incredible life out of it. And we've talked to a lot of people already that have done that. They've gone through this a lot further down the road than either of us at the end of the day. Like in the journey for where we're at, we're 14, 15 months down the road now. Fortunate to be doing quite well, I think, hopefully. But yeah, getting to that place is the place that we've got to get through, and putting in the reps, putting in the yards. It's like going to the gym. You want to go to the gym and lift a certain weight. You're probably not going to go there and do it on day one. You've got to put some reps in, and that's going to be hard work. And then it never gets easier because then you just add more weight to the bar, so it just gets harder anyway. But you can handle it better. You can handle all those things. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. And it's you whatever you put in is what you get in return, right? So, and that's yeah, that's no different. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it's business or life or work or you know sport, anything. If you don't put in the work, then the results are not just going to come. So, yes, we won't mention we won't mention the gentleman's name from the weekend.
well, he did very well. Anyway, let's say that he did very, very well. But if you could go back, like, because it's not too far back for you, if you could go back and give yourself any advice when you're starting out, is there anything you would say, or do you just accept this is the journey you're on? Anything you could think that you would go back and tell young Kartik of 14 months ago?
Um, Look, I think if I could, well, yeah, if I could go back, I would just give myself, or tell myself to um, just be open to, you know, going through this process, right? I guess, and I'm happy to share this. I probably at times naively did not expect it to be as full on as what it is right now, and I think yeah, if I had to go back and tell myself that it is really a proper legit business, and this is something that is not it's not easy. There's a lot of challenges you face on a daily basis, and because it's your own business, you can't just say, oh yeah, that's not my problem, that's not my problem to solve, or that's someone else's division, or that's their team and they'll sort it out. The reality is, ultimately, the buck stops with you. So you do need to have visibility, and you've definitely got the accountability for all the things that happened inside of the agency. So yeah, I think that for me, I would say that I would be just have to think about more than just the actual solution, or more than just the product, and saying, yeah, we can sell this and that's it. Like, there's so many more different things, and I'm sure you're the same, where you look at it from an accounting side, you look at it from a payment side, you look at it from a operational side, and then the strategy side. There's so many different things that we run. This is really a proper business that we're running, and not just a get rich quick stream, and a get rich quick scheme
Mm.
that you see online with everyone saying, there's no disrespect to the next generation, but like, oh, I'm 23 and I've bought a penthouse in Darling Harbour for like 1.5 million or $1 million or whatever it is. You could do this too. Like, there's a lot of that stuff that you see online, and it's like, that all sounds great, but you're 23 years old. You don't have a wife and kids and responsibilities and all that. So the reality is completely different for most people. So yeah, I mean, these are all things that the only way you're gonna know these things is by going through that experience. So yeah, I haven't I don't regret it. I think it's definitely the right decision for me, for our family. We love to be having more clients and more revenue, absolutely, but that's what we all want, I suppose. So that's the dream. But yeah, we're just about trying to strive for that common goal, which is being able to have the ability to pick and choose when we would like to do what we want to do, and that's ultimately what this is about. So yeah, it's exciting times.
Yeah, and you mentioned there the 23-year-old or whatever they are, the apartment, probably not 1.5 million, darling, having more like
No,
15
nowadays
probably.
not. Yeah, yeah. I think
But
that ad's probably a couple of years old. It's probably not
yeah,
1.5 million in Sydney now, but
nah,
yeah,
but I think people, that's one of the bad things about the internet. Everything's shiny
mm,
on Instagram. That's probably a rented apartment, rented Lambo, like
yes,
falling down the shiny trap. I think people
correct.
need to be aware of that, and just, like I said, build a real business, put in the yards, people can do it in 40 hours a week. You can do it in less, but what you put in, I 100% believe what you put in is what you'll get out. And that's what I think
Yeah, absolutely,
people need to
absolutely.
just get on that journey with that mentality, and you can really succeed well with doing this. So you started to mention there, what you're looking forward to for the future. What is it you are most excited about for the future for both your business and your family? You've got kids. What do you aspire to for your business, and what do you aspire to for your kids as well as they grow?
Yeah, look, for the business, I think we would love to. Well, I have been jokingly, but also half seriously, telling everybody whenever they ask me about, oh, are you coming to Dallas this year for the Level Up summit in, I think it's October.
October, yeah.
October, yeah, it's not far away. Anybody that asks me, oh, I've been saying to them, no, we're not coming this year, but our goal is to come next year and pick up the Gold Saspreneur Award. So that's what we'd like to do. And again, it's not for the award; it's more just I guess just reassure myself that yeah, this is indeed the right decision that we've made, and even if we don't get there, that's okay. But it's more just being able to continue to build what we're doing, and you know contribute to the community as well. I think that's the biggest thing for me, is that I still feel like I'm a bit of a newbie when it comes to all this sort of stuff, and um, there's, as I said at the start, there's a wealth of knowledge and experience in this space. But if I can, contribute and share my insights and my experiences, and I suppose this podcast is a form of that, to the next wave of agency owners, or high level users or whoever that wants to sort of run businesses and whatnot. If I can sort of share my insights to them,
Mm.
that's more than sufficient from a business perspective. And then similarly from a family side is, everything that I've learned and I've been taught, in my childhood growing up. I suppose as dads and as parents, we just want to, build something, a platform for the next gen to start there, and not, and not sort of go through the same challenges and the struggles that we had. And our parents wanted the same for us, and we want the same for our kids. So we joke about it. My parents started with a what is it, the Toyota Camry? Or actually, no, not even Toyota Camry. They started with a Hyundai Elantra or something years ago.
Mm.
And then my first car was a Toyota Camry, and then the kids, their first car, not their own, but they're riding in Teslas, right? So it's like it's just the way that the world works. And this next generation coming through, they'll start higher, but then we hope that they go even further, right? And so just continuing and passing on that legacy, I think is what's important to me and my family. So that's hopefully something that we can continue to aspire to achieve. And if we can, even if we go halfway, that'll be more than sufficient, I suppose.
Right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Kartik. Good luck. Yeah, I think you are on a good path. You seem to be doing pretty well, mate. I think from where starting at, only a year ago, year and a bit ago, to where you are now with the team and bringing on clients and everything, you working through that process, mate. So thank you for coming on and sharing your story, mate. Thank you so much.
All good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been great. Great to chat. And yeah, it was good to obviously share and learn as well. And I love doing podcasts. I always say people say I've got a face for radio, as I mentioned to you as well. So always happy to be on a podcast and
Well,
share my thoughts. I love a chat. So as you probably figured that out already. You're probably regretting why I got this guy to get on my podcast and didn't get hardly got a word in. But
no, not
yeah,
at all.
that's
Well,
that's all fun and
I hope that
games.
we will see you in Dallas. I don't know if this will be out before Dallas, but I hope that we might see you in Dallas this year anyway, mate. You should come along because I think that you will find that is a pretty cool event, and you'll meet some great people there. It's really worth
Yeah,
coming along
well,
to.
I mean, never say never. Who knows? Definitely next year, but I might see if I can do a sneaky last minute trip before. We'll see how we
Awesome,
go.
mate. Awesome. Thanks, Kartik. Have a great rest of your day,
Thanks,
mate.
mate.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thank you.